They kicked me out on my 18th birthday and told me I'd never be more than trailer trash. I can still feel the weight of that suitcase in my hand, still taste the rain mixing with tears on my face. I left with nothing but a promise to myself: survive first, rise later. 12 years later, I walked into my brother's engagement party. The room went quiet. His fiancée's face drained of color. She whispered something to him, and he turned to look at me like he'd seen a ghost. Then she stood up and said loud enough for everyone to hear, "You need to leave. Now." But before I could respond, her father walked over, looked between us, and asked the question that made my brother's face turn white: "Amanda, do you two know each other?" What's up, everyone? I'm Cassandra Monroe, though I haven't used that name in 12 years. Most people know me as Dr. Alexandra Stone. And I'm about to tell you the most complicated, painful, and ultimately satisfying story about reinvention, revenge, and the moment my past collided with my present in the most explosive way possible. This happened 3 months ago, and I'm still processing everything that unfolded. So settle in, because this story has layers that kept surprising even me. Let me take you back to the beginning. To who I was before I became who I am now. I grew up in a trailer park in rural Georgia. My mother died when I was 6. My father, Ronald, remarried when I was 8 to a woman named Diane who had a son my age named Marcus. Diane hated me from day one. I was a reminder that her husband had loved someone else. Marcus, her golden child, couldn't do anything wrong. I couldn't do anything right. My father, desperate to keep his new wife happy, chose her. Every time. When Diane said I was being difficult, he believed her. When Marcus broke something and blamed me, Dad punished me without question. When I got good grades, it was showing off. When Marcus barely passed, it was good enough. I learned early to stay quiet, stay small, survive. The only escape I had was school. I was smart, really smart. Teachers noticed. I won academic competitions. Got accepted to the state's magnet high school on a full scholarship. Diane was furious. "You think you're better than us now?" She'd sneer. "Going to that fancy school with your fancy scholarship? You're still trailer trash, Cassandra. Don't forget it." But I didn't forget it. I used it. Every insult became fuel. Every rejection became motivation. I graduated high school at the top of my class. Valedictorian. Full ride to UGA. I was going to get out. My graduation was on a Friday night in May. Humid, sticky Georgia evening. The ceremony was beautiful. I gave the valedictorian speech. My teachers hugged me. My friends congratulated me. My family didn't show up. I came home that night around 10 p.m., still wearing my graduation gown, carrying my diploma. The trailer was lit up, they were home. I walked in smiling. "Hey. You missed the ceremony, but I wanted to show you." My father was sitting on the couch with Diane. Marcus was in the kitchen. They all looked at me with the same cold expression. "Sit down," my father said. I sat, confused. Did something happen? "You're 18 now," Diane said. "Legal adult. Time for you to move out." I laughed nervously. "What? I'm starting college in August." I thought. "You thought wrong," my father interrupted. "You're an adult. Adults support themselves. You need to leave." "Dad, I don't understand. Where am I supposed to go?" "That's not our problem," Diane said. "We've supported you long enough. 18 years is enough. But my scholarship doesn't cover housing until fall semester. I need a place to stay for 3 more months. Should have thought of that before getting too big for your britches," Diane said. "Always acting like you're better than us. Well, now you can go be better somewhere else." I looked at my father. Desperate. "Dad, please. I'm your daughter." He wouldn't meet my eyes. "Diane's right. It's time. You're an adult now. You need to learn to stand on your own." "I can't afford an apartment." "I don't have money." "Then you'll figure it out. That's what adults do." Marcus smirked from the kitchen. He'd always enjoyed watching me suffer. "You have 1 hour to pack your things and get out," Diane said. 1 hour. It's almost 11 at night. Where am I supposed to go? Not my problem. You've got 59 minutes now. I couldn't believe this was happening. "Dad, please. Don't do this." He finally looked at me. And what I saw in his eyes was worse than anger. It was indifference. "Cassandra, you're not our responsibility anymore. Pack your things." I went to my tiny room at the back of the trailer. It had been a storage closet converted into a bedroom when Diane moved in. She didn't want me sharing space with Marcus. I packed everything I owned into 2 suitcases. Clothes, books, my diploma, a photo of my mother. Everything else I had to leave. 57 minutes later, I stood in the living room with my suitcases. Where are my college acceptance letters? My scholarship documents? Threw them out, Diane said casually. You won't need them. You'll never amount to anything anyway. Girls like you don't make it. You'll be pregnant and back in a trailer within a year. Girls like me? I asked, my voice shaking with rage. Trailer trash. That's what you are. That's what you'll always be. No fancy school is going to change that. I looked at my father one last time. Dad, please. Don't let her do this. He stood up and opened the front door. Goodbye, Cassandra. I walked out into the rain. It had started pouring while I was packing. My graduation gown was getting soaked. My suitcases were heavy. I had nowhere to go and $47 in my pocket. I walked to the main road and called my best friend Sarah. Can I stay with you tonight? Of course. What happened? I told her. She picked me up within 20 minutes. I stayed with Sarah's family for 3 months. They were kind, but I knew I was a burden. I got a job at a diner working double shifts. Saved every penny for college. But I had a problem. Without my scholarship documents, I couldn't prove I had a full ride. I called the university frantically. They had my acceptance but said the scholarship paperwork had been withdrawn. Withdrawn? Someone had called and cancelled it. I knew immediately. Diane. She'd found the university's contact information and called pretending to be me, declining the scholarship. Without the scholarship, I couldn't afford UGA. Without housing, I couldn't stay in town. Everything I'd worked for was gone. I could have given up. Part of me wanted to. But I remembered Diane's words. You'll never amount to anything. And I made myself a promise that night, survive first. Rise later. I spent that summer working 3 jobs. Saved $3,000. Took a Greyhound bus to Atlanta. Got a job as a waitress. Enrolled in community college part-time while working full-time. It took me 6 years to finish my bachelor's degree. 6 years of night classes, weekend shifts, sleeping 4 hours a night. But I did it. Then I applied to medical schools. Got into Emory on a full scholarship. 4 years of med school. 3 years of residency in plastic surgery. By the time I was 30, I was Dr. Alexandra Stone, a successful plastic surgeon with my own practice, a beautiful condo, and a life I'd built from nothing. I changed my name legally at 25. Cassandra Monroe died the night they kicked her out. Dr. Alexandra Stone was who I became. I never contacted my family. Blocked them on everything. They were dead to me. Or so I thought. 3 months ago, I got a call from my cousin Emily. We'd been close as kids before Diane entered the picture. She'd reached out a few years ago, and we'd reconnected. Cass, sorry, Alex, I need to tell you something. Marcus is engaged. Good for him. Yeah, but I think you should know who he's marrying. Why would I care? Her name is Amanda Hartford. The name meant nothing to me. Okay. Alex, she's the daughter of Richard Hartford. The real estate developer? I knew the name. Hartford Development owned half of Atlanta. Wealthy, powerful family. Marcus landed a Hartford? How did that happen? He works for her father's company. Mid-level management. They've been dating for a year. The engagement party is next month. I just thought you should know. Thanks for telling me. Are you going to come? Why would I come? Because it's your brother's engagement party. He's not my brother. Not anymore. But even as I said it, something nagged at me. Marcus was marrying into the Hartford family. The same Marcus who'd smirked while I was kicked out. The same Marcus who'd never accomplished anything on his own. Curiosity got the better of me. I looked up Amanda Hartford on social media. And my heart stopped. Amanda Hartford. 28 years old. Blonde, beautiful, successful marketing executive at her father's company. But that wasn't why my heart stopped. I knew her face. I knew her because I'd seen it every week for 6 months. In my office. In my examination room. Amanda Hartford had been my patient. She'd come to me 18 months ago for a rhinoplasty consultation. She wanted a subtle nose refinement. We'd had multiple appointments. I'd performed her surgery. She'd been thrilled with the results. She knew me as Dr. Stone. Alexandra Stone. Professional, polished, successful. She had no idea I was Cassandra Monroe. Marcus's sister. And Marcus had no idea his fiancée had been treated by his estranged sister. The coincidence was too perfect. Too delicious. I made a decision. I was going to that engagement party. I told Emily I was coming. She was thrilled. Really? I'm so glad. It'll be good for the family to see you. I'm not coming for the family. I'm coming for me. The engagement party was held at the Hartford estate. Massive mansion, manicured lawns, waiters carrying champagne. Money everywhere. I arrived fashionably late, dressed in a designer dress that cost more than my entire wardrobe had when I lived in that trailer. Hair professionally styled. Makeup flawless. Every inch Dr. Alexandra Stone. I walked in alone. Emily spotted me first and rushed over. You look incredible. Come on, I'll introduce you to people. We walked through the crowd. I saw Marcus across the room. He'd gained weight, lost hair, looked exactly like our father. He was talking to Amanda and her parents. Emily walked me toward them. Marcus. Look who's here. Marcus turned. Looked at me. No recognition. None. Amanda saw me. Her face changed instantly. Went pale. Her eyes widened. She knew me. But Marcus didn't. Hi, I said, extending my hand to Marcus. I'm Alexandra Stone. Emily's cousin. Marcus shook my hand. Still no recognition. Nice to meet you. I'm Marcus Monroe. Amanda whispered something to Marcus. He looked confused. She pulled him aside urgently. Amanda's father, Richard Hartford, approached me. Distinguished older man, sharp eyes. I don't think we've met. Richard Hartford. Dr. Alexandra Stone. Pleasure to meet you. Doctor. What field? Plastic surgery. I have a practice downtown. His eyes lit up with interest. Really? That's fascinating. We chatted for a few minutes. Professional, pleasant. Then Amanda and Marcus came back. Amanda looked agitated. She walked up to me and said, loud enough for people nearby to hear, you need to leave. Now. Richard looked startled. Amanda, what are you talking about? Dad, she can't be here. Why not? She's Emily's cousin. Amanda looked between me and Marcus. Because, she stopped. Realized she'd have to explain. Richard looked at me, then at Amanda. Amanda, do you two know each other? The moment I'd been waiting for. Yes, I said calmly. Amanda was my patient. I performed her rhinoplasty 18 months ago. Richard's eyebrows raised. You were Amanda's surgeon? What a small world. It is, isn't it? I looked at Marcus. Though I don't think we've met before, Marcus. Have we? He was still clueless. No, I don't think so. Amanda grabbed his arm. Marcus, we need to talk. Now. But it was too late. Emily had joined us, confused by the tension. What's going on? Emily asked. Amanda knows Dr. Stone, Richard explained. She was her plastic surgeon. Oh, how funny, Emily said. Marcus, did you know your sister became a plastic surgeon? The silence that followed was deafening. Marcus's face went from confused to shocked. Sister. Emily realized her mistake. Oh. You didn't know Alex was here? Richard looked between us. Wait. Dr. Stone is your sister? Amanda's face was white. She turned to Marcus. This is your sister. The one you said disappeared years ago? You told her I disappeared? I asked Marcus. He couldn't speak. I turned to Amanda and Richard. I didn't disappear. I was kicked out. On my 18th birthday. While wearing my high school graduation gown. Marcus was there. He watched his mother throw me out with nowhere to go. Richard's expression changed. Kicked out. As a teenager. 18 is legally an adult, I said. So technically legal. Morally reprehensible, but legal. Marcus found his voice. Cassandra. It's Alexandra now. I changed it. Cassandra Monroe died the night she was kicked out of her home with 2 suitcases and $47. Amanda looked at Marcus. You never told me you had a sister. I thought she was gone. We haven't heard from her in 12 years. You haven't heard from me because you kicked me out and told me I'd never amount to anything, I said pleasantly. How did that prediction work out? Richard was putting pieces together. You're the surgeon who did Amanda's procedure. One of the top plastic surgeons in Atlanta. That's you. That's me. But Marcus said his sister was. Amanda stopped. Was what? I asked. She couldn't say it. But I knew. Marcus had told her I was nothing. Trailer trash who'd disappeared. Probably told her I was in prison or dead or living in poverty somewhere. Emily, trying to help, said, Alex is amazing. She went to Emory Med School. She has her own practice. Marcus was shaking his head. That's not possible. You didn't even go to college. You didn't have money. I worked 3 jobs. Went to community college. Transferred to UGA. Got into Emory Med School. Graduated top of my class. Built a practice from scratch. All without a single penny from the family that kicked me out. Richard was staring at Marcus now with an expression I recognized, disappointment. You told me you came from a modest background but a supportive family, Richard said to Marcus. I do, it's complicated. It's not complicated, I said. They kicked out an 18-year-old girl with nowhere to go because she was getting too successful. They canceled her college scholarship out of spite. And she had to rebuild her entire life from nothing. You canceled her scholarship. Richard's voice was cold now. No, I didn't, my stepmom, Marcus tried to explain. Your stepmom that you lived with and never stood up to, I finished. You watched her destroy every opportunity I had and said nothing. You smirked when she kicked me out. Amanda finally spoke. Marcus, is this true? It's more complicated than she's making it sound. No, it's not, I said. It's actually very simple. You were jealous that I was succeeding academically. Your mother was threatened by my potential. My father was too weak to protect me. And all 3 of you decided I was better off gone. So you kicked me out. The crowd had grown. People were listening now. The Hartford family's engagement party was turning into a family drama reveal. Richard put his hand on Amanda's shoulder. Amanda, we need to talk. Privately. They walked away. Marcus tried to follow, but Richard held up his hand. Just Amanda. Marcus turned on me. What are you doing here? Why did you come? Emily invited me. You came to ruin my engagement. I came because I was curious. Curious how you ended up engaged to my former patient. Curious how you landed at Hartford when you've never accomplished anything on your own. Curious if you'd recognize your own sister after 12 years. I didn't recognize you because you look completely different. Interesting how success and stability can change a person's appearance. My father appeared then. Ronald Monroe. He'd aged badly. He looked at me, and this time there was recognition. Cassandra. It's Alexandra. You're here. Observant. How have you been? I laughed. Actually laughed. How have I been? You kicked me out 12 years ago and you're asking how I've been? We thought you'd figure it out. Make your own way. I did. Without you. Without any of you. Diane appeared. Still looked mean. She saw me and her lips pressed into a thin line. You have some nerve showing up here. I was invited. By who? By Emily. And I'm a guest at the Hartford estate, not your trailer park. You can't kick me out this time. Richard and Amanda came back. Amanda had been crying. Richard looked grim. Marcus, we need to talk, Amanda said. Let's go. They left together, leaving me standing with my father, Diane, and a crowd of witnesses. Richard stayed behind. He looked at me with something like respect. Dr. Stone, I had no idea about your connection to this family. If I had known, you would have what? Not let your daughter get engaged to Marcus? I would have understood the full picture before tonight. Well, now you do. Can I ask you something? Off the record? Sure. You performed Amanda's surgery 18 months ago. Did you know who she was? No. She came in as Amanda Hartford, daughter of Richard Hartford. I had no idea she was dating Marcus until 3 weeks ago. And when you found out? I was curious. So I came tonight. He nodded slowly. You're either very forgiving or very strategic. I'm neither. I'm just tired of pretending the past didn't happen. He excused himself. The party continued, but the energy had shifted. People were whispering. Looking at me. At Marcus. At my father and Diane. Emily found me. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. It's fine. It was going to come out eventually. What are you going to do now? Leave, probably. I got what I came for. Which was confirmation that I made the right choice leaving them behind. I left the party. Drove home. Sat in my condo and processed what happened. 3 days later, Amanda called me. Dr. Stone? It's Amanda Hartford. Hi, Amanda. I need to talk to you. Can we meet? Professional setting? We met at my office. She sat across from me, looking nervous. I called off the engagement. I wasn't surprised. I'm sorry to hear that. No, you're not. You're right. I'm not. Marcus lied to me. About everything. His family, his background, his values. He told me he came from a modest but loving family. That he was close with his sister who moved away for college and they'd lost touch. He made it sound like a natural drift, not what actually happened. And now you know the truth. Now I know my fiancé watched his family kick out his 18-year-old sister and did nothing. That makes him complicit. It does. My father looked into your story. Verified everything. He's actually impressed. Says you're one of the most successful self-made professionals he knows. That's kind of him. He wants to know if you'd be interested in consulting for Hartford development. They're building a medical complex and need expert input on the surgical center design. I was surprised. That's generous, but I don't need charity. It's not charity. It's business. You're qualified. You're local. And my father respects what you built. I thought about it. Tell him I'll consider it. Amanda stood to leave, then turned back. Can I ask you something personal? Go ahead. Do you hate Marcus? No. Really? Hate requires energy and emotion I don't have for him anymore. He's just someone I used to know who made bad choices. That's almost worse than hating him. Maybe. But it's honest. She left. I sat in my office thinking about the girl I used to be and the woman I'd become. The aftermath was messy. Marcus tried to contact me multiple times. I blocked him. My father sent letters. I returned them unopened. Diane sent a Facebook message calling me vindictive. I laughed and deleted it. Emily felt guilty for months. I told her it wasn't her fault. The truth would have come out eventually. Richard Hartford did hire me as a consultant. The project was legitimate, high-paying, and expanded my professional network. Amanda and I developed a weird friendship. She felt guilty about the engagement. I told her she dodged a bullet. She agreed. Marcus moved back in with Diane and Ronald. His job at Hartford Development was quietly terminated. His reputation in Atlanta's social circles was damaged. The man who kicked out his successful sister was not a good look. My father tried to reconcile once. Showed up at my practice. I had security escort him out. I'm your father, he said. Biologically. But you stopped being my father the night you let Diane kick me out. I made mistakes. You made choices. Choices that told me I wasn't worth fighting for. I've accepted that. You should too. He left. I haven't seen him since. People ask me if I feel vindicated. If seeing Marcus's engagement fall apart gave me satisfaction. Honestly, it didn't. Because by the time I walked into that party, I'd already won. I didn't need his failure to validate my success. But I needed him to see who I became. I needed Diane to see that her trailer trash became a doctor. I needed my father to see what he lost when he chose his wife over his daughter. And they did see. And it didn't change anything for them. But it changed everything for me. I spent 12 years building Dr. Alexandra Stone. Creating a life Cassandra Monroe never could have imagined. And walking into that party, seeing their faces, hearing them realize who I was, that was closure. Not revenge. Closure. The girl they kicked out survived. And then she rose. Higher than they could comprehend. And now she's free. Free from needing their approval. Free from wondering if she made the right choice leaving. Free from the weight of being the rejected daughter. Cassandra Monroe died in the rain 12 years ago. Dr. Alexandra Stone was born from her ashes. And she's exactly who she was meant to be.